Hi everyone, so the next design pattern we're going to look at is the null object design pattern. So this is a very interesting one. So what is this one? So we have a problem in our code. Normally with null objects, we have to go check every time. We have to, if not null, then do action. Because if it is null, we get an error, right? So if we had given it a correct object, it would perform its action. So if perhaps, say, this had been a car, we would say, car drive. Then if there's no car, like we pass a car that we haven't actually initialized, then we get an error. If we pass it an actual car that we have initialized, then it's gonna drive, it's gonna do whatever. If we pass it a null object, which is a version of that object that is empty, then it will just do nothing. Right, so we don't get the error, we get a null object. It does nothing. So benefit of this is we don't have to go through the whole code and check, if null, then do this. No, it'll just do nothing because it's the null object's empty. So you can avoid a lot of errors and a lot of checking, and very useful, very interesting. Now, how do we actually implement it? So we need to have, so this iClass is just an interface of the class. So we have an abstract class which has all the information that it's an implementation of that interface. So within that we have the null iClass. So we can create that null version of the class. And then it has its regular methods, the abstract class itself. Now this is a bit complicated, especially complicated to think about, but once you see it in action, it makes perfect sense as to why you would use this, which is exactly what you want to be using these patterns for. It solves a problem. So that's how we go on making one. So this one we're going to do a shape drawing. So we want to have a class for shape, and then we'll have a type of shape, say a square or something. I'll have a square, and then we will create that null shape and use that null shape. So what we would want to use it for is if we tell it to draw, and we haven't selected a square or a circle, we haven't selected anything, we'll tell it to draw, we'll pass it the null shape, and the null shape will not draw anything. Ideal. No errors. So that's what we're aiming for. Alright, so the first thing we need is an interface. So we add a class, call it iShape. That'll do. And make it public so we can see it. And the only thing it needs to have in it is draw. That's all your shapes need to do. Just need to be able to draw. Oops, sorry. Interface. That's it. Done. And now we need a shape class. Just a nice generic shape class. Make it public. It's abstract class shape, which implements the iShape interface. Now, we have our regular, just public shape, you know, just creates a shape as per usual. Nothing fascinating about that. And you know, it's an abstract class, but it'll have a draw because it's a shape. And it needs to fit in with the interface, obviously. So, like abstract void draw. There we go. Standard, as we would do normally. Now it comes in with the null shape stuff. So we'll have shape null, which equals to new null shape. So this is where we get the null. So it's public. It's read only. Should be static too, because it never changes. And there we go. Here's a null shape. Now we need this to be able to construct it. This is where we actually make the null shape. So the null shape is just a shape. And we override. So shape has a method called draw. So we override that draw method. Oops. Public override draw. And make it do nothing. So here's the draw method for a shape. Here is the draw method for a null shape. Null shape does nothing. Right? Oops. This should be a yep. And we need a void in here. Okay, there we go. Now, so we have the shape class, but it's abstract, so we need an actual one. So let's do a square, I think. Should be easy enough to draw. And since I'm not using any fancy drawing program, I'm sure we can find a way to make that work. So if I want to make a square, so square is a shape, public, so we can make it. There we go. Public square. So we can construct it, and then we want to override the abstract class to do a drawing. So we can just do it with a string. So we'll do the top. And then the sides. And then bottom. And there we go. That should little draw a very simple square. Or something that looks like a square anyway. Good enough for our purposes. Sweet. So now the actual program needs to implement it so that we can see how that works. So what do we need in the program? We need a, let's see, Well, we wanted to take an input from the user, and if there's no input, then we wanted to draw nothing. If it's, say, let's make an S for square, then it will draw a square. And then reset to the null object, which is default, which is nothing. So take a user input, and I'll just make that blank, and we will have we will set the shape that we need to draw. Set that to a null shape. So shape.null. Excellent. So that'll be a null. So the shape to draw currently is null. So we'll have a while loop to run the program. So let's start with while user input is not equal to, say, stop. We want to read in the user input. So read line, and that will equal the user input. Now we have a user input, and we want to check if that is an S. If that is an S, we make the shape to draw equals a square. There we go. Then we draw the shape. It's been selected, or not selected, and then we reset it to null. Oops. There we go. So let's quickly run through that again so we understand what's happening before we actually run the program. So we set the user input to blank. We set the shape to draw to default as a null shape. Empty shape, it draws nothing. Then we have a loop for the program. So it gets a user input. If the user input is S, then it'll change that shape that we need to draw to a square. Then it draws whatever is currently in the shape to draw. So if we haven't selected S, it's a null object, it will draw nothing. If it is an S, we've selected a square, it'll draw a square. Then it defaults it back to a null object. Defaults it back to not drawing anything. So let's see if it works. So if I just put in random code, nothing happens. Doesn't draw anything. If I draw S, draws a square. S draws a square. Draws an S square. Now EC goes back to default. So if I draw one square, back to 0. Put in S. So the default is nothing. So if you haven't selected anything, it will go back to nothing. So the reason why this is useful in this context is, for example, if you were to open up a program like Paint and just click on it, you would expect it to draw a circle or a square. That's not what it does by default. It waits for a user input before it does something. So that's what you would use this for. So leave default as blank. You can pass it on as if it's a shape. Doesn't care. No errors. Beautiful. And that's it.